This is a video about a 4-day, 3-night backpacking trip in the Grand Canyon, down New Hance Trail, a day hike on Escalante Trail, over on Tonto, and then up and out Grandview Trail. Beautiful trails, highly recommended. We started on New Hance. You're going down about 5,000 to 4,000 feet. It was about a 5 to 6 mile hike down. It doesn't sound that long, but it's pretty tiring. I saw reviews on all trails that it was sketchy. It's really not that bad. There's loose gravel. You have to be careful. There's some exposure. This is a good example of the exposure. You don't want to fall off the trail, but it's not constant. Just now and again there were a couple of spots that you just be careful, you'll be fine. Beautiful trail, like all the trails down. What's nice about being off corridor, the corridor hike, your Bright Angel and Kaibab have tons of people, and sometimes that's nice. It's nice chatting with people from all over the world. This is more isolated. We saw maybe 5, and then one group of 5, probably 10 people the entire trip. And now we're down to the Colorado River. You have to pump your own water. There's no water on the trail. You have to pack out your toilet paper. They say to pee in the river and poop away from the river. Be careful of rats. Bring a rat sack for the rats. And then this is Escalante. You come up to the Papago slide. This was the sketchiest part of the trip. That he's just screwing around. This is the sketchiest part. It's loose rock. You have to be careful. You go way up and over. There is some exposure at the top. There's looking down from the top. And then Papago wall. Once you climb up over on this exposed area, you have to climb down this wall. It's not hard climbing. You just be careful. It's fine. And then we hiked up and went down the 75-mile canyon. I was saying rats and ravens are big pests in the canyon. So if you have a rat sack, that's great. That'll help you during the day. And then we hung the rat sack so that the ravens can't use the ground and peck into your rat sack. But the rats weren't bad on this trail. I accidentally left some food in my pack that wasn't in the rat sack and had no troubles. On the corridor, they're a menace. This is the 75-mile canyon. Beautiful slot canyon. It can go, we just walked a half an hour up and back, but you can go up it for several hours. And then this is the Escalante Trail. You climb out and then you keep going. We turned around here when the Escalante Trail left the slot canyon. It's only about maybe 2.5 hours from camp, or 2.5 miles from camp, but it took a long time, especially because of these slides. There are some cairns marking where to go on the slide. Coming up it, we stayed right. Yeah, there's some exposure. You're walking along. There's a slide coming down. Biggest danger, I think, is just loose rock. So either keep yourselves. We just went one at a time, so we didn't knock rocks on each other, or stay right next to each other so the rocks don't get up any momentum. It was a little scary going up the first time, but then coming down, we knew what we were dealing with, and it wasn't bad. No, we're trying to slide down a sand dune, which was not successful. It was successful in getting sand all over our clothes. We're packing up camp and going along the Tonto Trail, heading along the Colorado and up to Hance Creek Campground. Not a large elevation gain. I think we went up 1,000 feet. You kind of go up, down a little. Nice trail. The trails aren't as well marked, of course, as the corridor. You have to be a little careful to stay on trail. We did get off trail on New Hance and just had to double back. You have some exposure on this trail. This isn't showing it, but you are walking near a good-sized drop-off, so you just stay on the trail. I mean, this is probably an example there. Just it's wide trail. You're fine. There's nothing. There's not like a wall on your other side. That's an example. You just want to stay on the trail. Beautiful trails. Each day was wonderful. Overall, this route was about 16 miles. We did that in 3 days, plus a day hike. Not heavy mileage. It was, for me, it was tiring, but not, we weren't pushing any limits. We got into camp early each day. Yeah, beautiful views along the way. Didn't see any animals. Yeah, they have a really nice campground on Hance Creek, a little creek there where you can pump water. Colors were changing. This was November, pretty cold. We brought traction devices for our boots because there was snow on the rim, so you just want to be careful. Temperature's about 20 degrees warmer down in the canyon than up on the rim. This is heading up. We catch up with the Grandview Trail. We did see a lot of people when we get like within half a mile of the rim, just people doing day hikes, but on the trail, very few people. There's a little mining camp or a little cave. The other guys didn't want to go in. They said the air quality could be toxic or something, but it was fine. All these trails are a little rough. The closer you get, closer you get to the rim, the more worked on they are. But nothing bad, just some screes or some, slippery rock at times, not constantly. I think this is where we were catching up with Grandview Trail. There is some radioactive something. You're not supposed to hang around that one area. Yeah, poles are helpful. Actually, they can be a little dangerous because you can trip on them. Sometimes you just have to be aware of them and keep them out in front. Make sure they're not a tripping hazard. Yeah, it's always a long hike out from wherever in the canyon. But these off-trail, there's about, 8 trails down on the south side. This is south side. We didn't cross over the river. This was one of my favorite off-corridor.
What do you got?
All right, let me know if